Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, what's the difference, when to use them, how to play them. So real quick, the pentatonic scale, really it's just a 5-note scale, thus the word penta. Now what we do with either the major or the minor scales, we take what's called the tritone out of the scale. So in the minor scale, what we're going to do, we're going to use E as our example today. We're going to take the 2 and the 6 out. That's taking out the F sharp and the C. And if we listen to F sharp and C, we get this really dissonant interval. Now, if we switch over to major, we still need to take the tritone out, but it's not the 2 and the 6. It's actually going to be the 4 and the 7. The 4th note and the 7th note being A and D sharp. And as you can hear, it's a really dissonant type of sound. And it's something that necessarily, you might want to have it in some of your chords, and you will hear that in the blues, and actually a lot of other music, but not so much in the soloing. So let's find the notes of E minor pentatonic. You'll see the notes on the screen there in terms of letters. Now, for frets, we're going to start with our index on the 12th fret of the high E. And we're going to use our pinky to get the G on our 15th fret of that high E. 12th fret of the A for A, 14th of the A for B, 12th of the D for D, 14th of the D for E. So we get you can kind of play around with this scale and just, the pentatonic, one of the great things about it is it's kind of hard to make a mistake. Of course, other than hitting the note outside of the scale, so you can go up, do hammer-ons, pull-offs, do some bends, hit some at the same time. You get the idea. Just kind of have fun with it. Now if we want to switch to the major pattern, we're going to go pinky here, same root, same 12th fret of the E string, but now index is going to get 9th of the A for our F sharp, and then 11th of the A for G sharp, 9th of the D for B, 11th of the D for C sharp, and then 9th of the G for E. So what we get is, and you'll see that it actually has a much happier type of sound. And you can really use these two scales interchangeably. So if you're playing blues in E, you can use the minor or the major, or you can switch between the two. It's kind of up to you. So let's say if we have a you can just go between the two. The blues, the thing about it is you don't really have to be too picky about the scales and the notes that you hit, and you're always only just about a half step off from hitting a correct note. So when you're practicing this, go on YouTube, find any old blues and E backing track, and then just get this scale down, and then the next one. And then just learn how to switch between the two, and then add like some bends in there. And you can play around and start to develop your own voice. The important thing here is that you're learning which notes belong, so that when it's time to leave just this one octave in this one position, you know that the pentatonic minor for E, you know what notes are in there. And if you know your fretboard, well, then you can kind of, there's There's one way. But what happens if we want to play it in major? Then something, right? You want to be able to know these notes, as well as know that these patterns are movable. So if I'm doing A minor pentatonic, I'm picking my root of A, and I'm using that same pattern. But if I need to move to the major, so I move my pinky to that root, and it's very simple to kind of switch between the two. So bottom line, know your patterns, and then also know your notes, and also know the names of the notes on the fretboard. That way, when it comes time to do some slides, for example, I mean, if you want to go up there and for whatever reason use that G and solo there, well, why not? Why would you want to be limited to just some box patterns? Because slides sound cool, and if you're in E minor or E major pentatonic, knowing that this E and that E are the same kind of helps, because then you can do a slide and sound a little bit more tasteful. So have fun, figure out these patterns. If you need any help with knowing the notes of the fretboard, I mean, I got a ton of brain training at musicandguitarlessons.com. I've also got my book, Music Theory in One Lesson, which is always linked with these videos. Music Theory in One Lesson will run you through scales, how to build chords, what are 7 chords, what are 9 chords, and just under 60 pages or so. It's really helpful to know this stuff, because you don't just play with your hands, you play with your brain. Have fun. Definitely do not forget to subscribe and like this video.